opportunity to experience an incredible race weekend.
Back on the streets of downtown Detroit, the Grand Prix brings energy and engagement to the city. They're revved up to be a part of that excitement.
Who's ready to go racing this weekend, huh? Motor City? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Darrell Kane with the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. I couldn't be more honored to be up here today, welcoming some of the greatest drivers in the world back to our hometown here in the Motor City. Detroit is going to come alive this weekend with the Grand Prix. Of course, we've got 3 great racing series that are going to be on track this weekend. The NTT IndyCar Series on Sunday, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship on Saturday, and of course Indy Next by Firestone will be racing on Sunday as well. And all eyes and attention will be here on Detroit the way we like it, coming off a lot of momentum from the Indianapolis 500 last weekend, and we're excited to hear from some of the drivers. Truly some of the greatest drivers in the world are here with us today. We'll be competing on the streets of Detroit, and we're looking forward to hearing from them here in a few minutes. We also have a dynamic panel that's going to join us here in a few minutes representing both Chevrolet, Lear, and the Grand Prix. So we'll look forward to having some of our guests here talk about their excitement for this weekend. And we are excited. It's the 35th Grand Prix in Detroit's history. Started back in 1982 on the streets of Detroit, and we're so happy to bring it back to downtown Detroit in 2023. 3rd consecutive year back here in the heart of the Motor City, and we're looking forward to a really exciting weekend. Over 150,000 people attended this event in each of the last 2 years since we've been back downtown, expecting another capacity crowd here this weekend. Our grandstand tickets for Sunday are already sold out, which is awesome. Hoping that we accomplish the same feat on Saturday. We still have rooftop tickets available for people to purchase. If anyone with the media or any of our fans would like to purchase tickets, DetroitGP.com, still on sale. We also have concerts on Saturday night. They're still available on sale as well. It's going to be a great night in Motor City on Saturday. We're looking forward to it. This event has generated over $100 million in total spending for the Tri-County region since the move back downtown. We're so excited to get back to everyone in Detroit here this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate all the media coverage here leading into the event. Packed house today with all of our media partners, so thank you for being here. If you did get a chance to talk to the drivers today before the lunch began, a few of them will hang around afterwards, and we'll make sure that we get them to you if you were not able to get the drivers that you were looking for. And of course, you can come see us up in the Media Center, the Detroit Grand Prix International Media Center here on the 2nd floor of the Renaissance Center. We're looking forward to hosting all of you throughout the course of the weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend at that. With that, I'd like to welcome a few of our distinguished guests to the panel. If you could join me here, we're very pleased to be joined by representatives from General Motors, from Lear, and from the Detroit Grand Prix. First up, we welcome Jim Campbell, U.S. Vice President of Performance and Motorsports for General Motors. Jim, if you join us up for the board. We'd also like to welcome Christine Shapiro, Vice President Electronics from North America for Lear Corporation. Thank you for joining us, Christine. And Bud Dinker, you already knew to come up here. Chairman of the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. Bud Dinker, thank you for joining us. Distinguished panel here today. Jim, we'll start with you. Chevrolet obviously helped bring racing back to Detroit in 2012 by becoming the title sponsor of the Detroit Grand Prix, and the GM certainly was key in bringing the event back downtown to Detroit in 2023. Why is this event so important to General Motors? How does it continue to be an important part of what you guys do and what you're looking forward to in this year?
Yeah. Well, good afternoon. It's great to see everybody here. Welcome to Detroit. When we re-entered IndyCar in 2012, one of the things we worked with the series on was bringing a race back to Detroit, and they delivered. And so here we are in another year with the Detroit Grand Prix back in the city streets of Detroit. And we love it because it's our hometown, and it allows us to feature our race vehicles and our propulsion systems right here in our hometown. And obviously a lot of those vehicles are engineered right here, and our propulsion systems are actually prepared here in the Detroit area. We prepare our Corvette engine, Cadillac engines, and Pontiac, and then our Gilmore Chevrolet engine is prepared in Plymouth, Michigan. And so we can have all of our partners down here to watch these great racers represent our products and compete with some of the very best in the world. So it's a great moment to rally our employees and all of our partners and suppliers to come down here and cheer on our products and our teams. And it's also a great way to give back to Detroit. As we talked about the total spend being over $100 million, that's great, and a lot of benefit to that. Really applause to Michael Montry and to you and Bud around providing 50% of the track is free. It's great. I love it. That's been a big win for everybody. Proud to be here.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And good point. So, as you said, 50% is free. So the riverfront for free, Spirit Plaza, Hart Plaza for free, down Woodward Avenue, we expanded that outreach. So it is something that we're very proud of and to give back to the community. We talk about the business impact for General Motors. Over 90 partners, 93 partners here this weekend will be represented. From the business side of things, what does that mean for GM?
Well, it's a chance for us to really spend time with our very close partners and suppliers that help us run our business. We can't do this on our own. And so, so many of our suppliers have partnered with the Grand Prix event, and so it's great to spend time with them and all the events leading up to this weekend, and we'll be spending time with them over the weekend as well, which is great. And then together we get to feature our products here. In Spirit Plaza, we'll have all of our Chevrolet lineup will be there, and Todd Christensen and his team have the display set up. I walked over and looked at it, so we'll have all of our cars and trucks, SUVs. We'll have race cars over there as well. And then Cadillac will be in Hart Plaza with all of our B-Series Cadillacs and some of our new electric vehicles. And so we have a chance as General Motors and our partners to also have a chance to display our products that we work on so hard together. So it's great to be here with them, and it's a big weekend for us.
Let's talk about the technology, Jim. You talk about the products, but obviously what you're seeing on the racetrack between the NTT IndyCar Series, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, a lot of great technology that General Motors can showcase this weekend.
Absolutely, and I see Dr. Eric Horn is here. He's our Executive Director of Global Motorsports Competition, Mark Stilo, Keely Bosden, Jessica Dane, and our program managers for our race programs, and they are linked highly to what we do on the production side. And it's not only learning about the pieces and parts on the track, but it's also the tool sets that Eric and his team are really honing, whether it's CFD, it's simulation, it's using AI, machine learning. We're taking those various tool sets, honing them in racing, where you got to go fast, you have fast learning cycles, and then we enhance those tool sets as the production teams really use them to the best advantage to prepare products for the showroom. And so, and one thing I would just mention, Eric and his team work very closely, for example, with the Corvette team. And so the ZR1 that we paced last weekend at the Indy 500 with, they worked on the aero models for that. And then even on the EV side, some of the insights on aero, which are so important in racing, are also important in developing aerodynamics for our EVs and our regular ICE production vehicles. So there's so many things that we learn on the racetrack that transfer over, but there's also tool sets we develop that help the production side. And one other thing I mentioned is that our Cadillac engine, we have it's a specifically prepared 5.5 liter dual overhead cam V8. And 30 parts on that engine have 3D printed parts added to manufacturing, which we do many right here in the Detroit area. And so it's a fuel rail, the exhaust system, there's 3 or 4 parts that you would see, but there's 30 overall. And so we hone our additive manufacturing skills in motorsports. We can then turn back over to production. So we love racing for a lot of reasons, but tech transfer certainly.
It's amazing. I think you mentioned the Indy 500 pace car. I think we have that on display right here in the Rensen here this weekend. So technology is amazing. It's a great opportunity for GM to shine this weekend. So we wish you all the best of luck, rooting for the Cadillac and Chevy brands this weekend, obviously throughout the course of the weekend. So appreciative for everything that General Motors does to support this event. We're also joined by Christine Shapiro with Lear, and Lear has been a long-time supporter of the Grand Prix, has been the presenting sponsor of the event since 2015. Christine, will ask you, why is this event so special to Lear, so near and dear to your heart?
Well, I have to start by saying thank you for having me today, because being here with all these world-class racers made me a cool mom to my 13-year-old son this morning. So that was exciting. But this event is very important to Lear. We have over 100 years of heritage in the city and the surrounding areas in the automotive industry, and we take great pride in giving back to the community. And so we're thrilled. This is our 9th consecutive year as the presenting sponsor, and we couldn't be more proud.
That's awesome. And Lear does so much for the community as well. And it marks the 3rd year for the Grand Prix back in the streets of downtown. As we talk about getting ready to wave the green flag this weekend in the Motor City, what are some of the things that fans can look forward to? Maybe it's a little bit different in years past at the Grand Prix.
I absolutely love this event. This will be my fourth time coming down. My first time was on Belle Isle, which was amazing with the iconic fountain and having the nature setting. But the event downtown totally transforms the event. It is electric. The fans come down, the city comes alive. There's the racing. You can see it from rooftops, you can see it from the street, you can see it from the suites. It's just incredible. But it's more than that. It seems like a celebration and the start of summer with all the concerts and the river walk outside. It's something to be really proud of, especially I grew up in the southeast Michigan, and I'm very proud of what the city does this weekend, or how it shines.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, I know you've been to the event before and you've enjoyed it before. So as you think about somebody who's coming down to the Grand Prix for the first time, what advice would you give them for what they must see down here?
Gosh, what do we see? I think it's just the whole environment, right? It's electric. It's so fun. Everybody's ready to go and just thrilled to be a part of what's happening in the city. It really gives the opportunity. This event is so special because it's the one annual event where the city shines on a global stage and we can show to everyone that we really are the Motor City.
We're proud of it. Lear's technology obviously on display this weekend as well. We talked about General Motors, but Lear is a leader in the automotive technology field. There's also a lot of tech for people to see from Lear this weekend. Talk about that a little bit.
So Lear has a long legacy of high-performance products, which makes it a natural fit for us to be a partner with the Grand Prix. You'll see many of our products on several of the GM vehicles that are here today and throughout the weekend. On our seating side, our thermal comfort solutions, which provide massage seats, heating and cooling. We have meticulously crafted fabric and leathers. And then on the E-System side, which is where I'm from, we have the EDS systems, which provide power throughout the vehicle, and then high-crafted electronics that don't only serve ICE vehicles but also EV propulsion vehicles, making ultimate performance and safety.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing some of the Lear products on track this weekend. Looking forward to another dynamic weekend for Lear, and appreciate all your support and continued presenting sponsor here at the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. Thank you, Christine. Bob Decker, chairman of the Grand Prix, has been with us from the very beginning when we brought the race back in 2007. I know, Bob, you've got a lot of pride about this event. A lot of momentum, I think more than probably we felt in a long time leading into the Grand Prix. Coming off the momentum of the Indy 500, a great start to the season for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Great momentum with Fox aboard as a new broadcast partner with IndyCar. So talk about what you feel as we get ready to enter the start of the event weekend tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Marilyn. Thank you all for being here, 140 people here today. But I want to say thank you and welcome to a few people here, especially. I want to first of all congratulate Alex Palou on an amazing Indy 500 victory. Your first oval and first victory. Congratulations to you, Barry, and your team. You're having an unprecedented year, so congratulations on all that. And also Scott Dixon, our defending champion here as well from last year. Scott, thanks for being here as well today as well. And two more thank yous. Michael Montry, to you and your team. If you're part of the Grand Prix team, raise your hand if you're part of our Grand Prix team. You see the hands you raise. We only have 14, 15 full-timers in this entire team that do all of what goes on here. It's amazing, isn't it? All putting it together. Thank you all for what you do here as well. One more thank you, of course, to my boss, Roger Penske, whose idea was back in 2006 following the Super Bowl to bring racing back to our city, and he's really made it possible along with the support, obviously, of Lear and Chevy. So Roger, thank you as well for being here today. To answer your question, what momentum we have, right? If you've seen the numbers or not, 7 million people watched the race last week from the Indianapolis 500. 7 million. That's a 40% increase from what we had in 2024. It's incredible numbers. But on top of that, 100% increase in the 18 to 34-year-old categories. We're bringing a lot of young people now into this sport than we ever had before, which is so important for the legacy of our event, leading it year in, year out. But a big part of that, as you mentioned, Mara, has been Fox. I got the chance to watch the race after I got back home, and it's crazily important of what they've done for the pre-race, the stories, the content they're adding to it, the Apache helicopters flying over the cars 150 feet as they had the pre-race. That was pretty great, wasn't it, Joseph? I mean, to see what they've done for our series has really, really helped us. And now, seeing those 7 million viewers last week come into Detroit, watch what we do here in our streets. We have tremendous momentum, tremendous in our series. Thank you, Roger, for what you've done to help us build the series, for you and Mark Miles and Doug and others. But this series, if you're part of it, has never seen the momentum we have right now. We need to capture it, we need to build upon it, and now we're here in Detroit to continue the momentum.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned to us when you met with our team earlier in the week, just the pride that you felt coming downtown, seeing how the downtown has really transformed. Not only over the last few years as we've seen Detroit raise up, and this is a big part of it, but also just how great the track looks, everything around the venue, the whole downtown area. Let's just talk a little bit about that.
Well, for the drivers, when you do your track walk today, you may not see it, but we see it in our eyes. We've added an extra $4.5–5 million of new fencing, new walls. $4.5–5 million this week, this year. Once again, we invest in this track. So I think you're going to see a pristine track. Of course, it's a very smooth track. It's interesting. Here's a factoid. The Long Beach Grand Prix is almost the same distance as our race here. There are seven manhole covers on the Long Beach Grand Prix racetrack. We have 215. You guys know it, don't you? We have 215. Last night we spent a lot of time covering a lot of those manhole covers with some epoxy to make them smoother, but how can you make it smooth when you have 215 manhole covers? But it also gives us great racing. Think about this. Last year we had 40 caution laps, far too many, as we all know, 40. But despite that, we had 217 passes. 217 passes and 60 green flags, almost 4 to 5 laps passing every single lap we had. That eclipsed 2023 when we had 183 passes. So we have more passes on this track than almost anywhere we go to, which is incredible for a small, tight track. And 6 of our 9 corners had passing on it. So people said that you couldn't pass on it, you couldn't, it's too tight, the walls are too tight, it's too short. We had 217 passes last year. So thank you, drivers, for what you do. Let's have a few less caution laps this year, please. But you all make it very exciting for us. And those 215 manhole covers, I'm sure you feel it after the end of the race, don't you?
It's really interesting to see Bud out there last night just counting on manhole covers. But that's the kind of guy he is, this Bud Denker. But the Grand Prix has really made a concerted effort since the move back downtown, become even more ingrained in the community, right? From community outreach, from STEM programs to Boys and Girls Clubs, a lot of activation, arts, culture. Why has that been such an important part and focus for this event since the move back downtown?
Well, you know, the first thing when we got Belle Isle, which everybody loved that track, right? It's a great technical track. It was on a park, so there was some issues around that. But anyway, Michael and I had the idea of bringing it back downtown. Obviously, first of all, it's impossible, right? How do you shut down a city that's bustling so much like our city is, right? And it is right now. But we have a track that doesn't affect one business. It's also interesting, we have a track right in the middle of it is an international border crossing. Canada to US, that never stops, which is pretty much crazy as well too. But the first part of it was you mentioned it, being inclusive. Belle Isle was exclusive. You got on a bus, you went to the track, you came off, you went in your car, and you left. First thing we did, Michael and I said, we're going to make half of this track open for free. You can't do it. Where can you go out to motorsports anywhere in the world and see something for free, like these athletes? You can't. You can here. So over 100,000 people will come down, for a lot of them because it's free, and for the first time seeing these athletes perform on a world stage for free. On top of that, we have a lot of young people now getting involved in our sports. Correspondence, of course, now with the Boys and Girls Clubs, an artistic program with the Boys and Girls Club. We're very, very proud of that. And also, if you get a chance to go up Woodward Avenue, you'll see 23 businesses that we've selected to come downtown from other parts of Detroit and display their wares. So we're helping small businesses, we're helping the businesses in Detroit become successful. The hotels are packed, the cafes are packed, the bars are packed. All because we're here in downtown Detroit. And as you said, Meryl, $100 million will be pumped into our city by this event. What if we weren't here? It wouldn't happen. So Christina, it's a great kickoff to the summer in Detroit. I want to thank the drivers for being here. Thank you for what you do for us, for being our ambassadors, but also thank you to Jim and Lear and the others for what you do to make this possible. And we're excited to have you all in our city this weekend.
It's awesome. We talk about the fan activities, you touched on it a little bit. There's also marine displays along the waterfront with Ilmore and Chevrolet. There's some great activities in Campus Martius, Cadillac Square. The entertainment stage will come alive on Saturday night. The fan zone, Meyer Fan Zone, has moved down to the Woodward Avenue area, so a lot for people to see. But one of the cool new things this year is Cruise Night. So Friday night, we're going to open up the racetrack and have over 100 vehicles. Cruise Night, presented by the Detroit Auto Show. How cool is that? And that's going to be something interesting for people to see.
Well, if you haven't been here before, the Woodward Dream Cruise brings 1 million people to that road every year. And these cruises are out there for weeks in advance. That weekend celebrates the cruising culture of our city, right? The retro cars, way back to the 60 hypercars. They'll all be here. We're going to have about 200 or 300 of them on our front straightaway. So if the drivers aren't doing anything on Friday evening, check this thing out. You're going to see a lot of great cars parked in turn 3, food trucks, a lot going on out there. The other thing I want to mention is Friday night we also have our grand premiere. And we've now raised $7.5 million for charity by having the grand premiere in our city. That's very important. And Alex, tomorrow, we're going to auction off the Chevrolet ZR1, VIN number 1, 2026 car. Probably go for about $1 million. I think we won a lot of money this past Sunday. It's the perfect car for your garage. We're adoring that for only $1 million. So give me your telephone number. I'll raise your paddle for you, okay, while you're there. All right. So anyway, we're going to raise a lot of money this year. Thank you to GM for providing us the VIN number 1 ZR1, 1,000 plus horsepower that we're going to auction off tomorrow night here in downtown Detroit to raise a lot of money for our charities here. So thank you all for that.
Thank you very much, Bud. Yeah, they're opening up the new Hudson's building downtown. It's going to be a great scene. Looking forward to raising a lot more money for some very worthy charities here locally. You know, great exposure for the Motor City worldwide through the course of this event here this weekend. Just in broadcast information alone, the Indy Next race will be seen at 10:30 a.m. in FS1 on Sunday. The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the Chevrolet Sports Car Classic will take the green flag Saturday, 3:30 on Peacock. And then, of course, the NTT IndyCar Series, the Chevrolet IndyCar Grand Prix, 12:30 p.m. on Fox on Sunday. So really looking forward to all the great exposure for this event and then sharing the beauty of the waterfront with Detroit around the world. So awesome panel here today, guys. Thank you very much, Jim. Christine and Bud, thank you. We're going to transition here, take a look at some of the highlights that we're going to expect to see on track this weekend, and then hear from some of the drivers.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, comes something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Welcome up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing the broadcast this weekend. We're also looking forward to hearing from our PA announcers. You'll be hearing their voice throughout the course of the weekend here at the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear. Todd Steinkamp and Jim O'Brien are with us here today. Gentlemen, raise your hand. There you go. They're going to spend a few minutes talking to some of our driver guests who are going to be here this weekend. Not going to hear from all of them because we've got a lot of them in the house tonight. There's some of the ones that we want to try to highlight for you, so we'll turn it over. First off, we're going to hear from Todd Steinkamp. Todd?
Thank you very much, Merrill. Appreciate it. Nolan, I'll have you stand up. Nolan Aller. By the way, I was talking to your dad earlier. Super proud dad, but he's exhausted. They've been running around like crazy. I know you have too. You're back at your home track. Talk about what it means to be back here.
Yeah, it's like you said, we're all a little tired with everything that we have that goes in this weekend, but I get to sit in my own bed, which is kind of nice. Not something that most drivers get to do, so we're excited to be back.
Detroit Lion sheets on that bed?
Maybe Tigers right now, I'd say in rotation, yeah, we'll see. It's a race car, but if that matters.
I want to talk to you, Tommy, driving for Corvette. I look over right behind there, I see some of the original Corvettes, and when you stand here, it can't be lost on you, the heritage of Corvette, and as you keep evolving the brand.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, having driven for the brand now for a long time, 2011 was my first year with Corvette. You know, coming here to the Rent Center, to Detroit, means a lot, of course, to the whole company. means a lot to a lot of the people that work on these cars every day, making these Corvettes over the years. Obviously, the cars are made in Bowling Green, but a lot of the design and work is done here in Detroit as well. So an opportunity for those people to come see the cars up close, see the racing version of the cars that they help produce is impressive for them, I think. And for us as well, it's great to be here for Pratt Miller as well, the team, the ones who build the race cars not far from here. Great an opportunity for them, friends and family to come see these cars up close, see the racing. Just a great time.
Thank you. Jordan Taylor, come on over here, number 40. Wayne Taylor Racing. With Cadillac, as you're out there, 5 times on Belle Isle, right? Did what? You won.
Oh, yeah.
You were there. You've been on, but the idea, when you're here, obviously being here in Detroit, the Motor City, just reach out with Tommy, it's probably not lost on you how important it is to win here, what it means.
Yeah, my first year here at Belle Isle was 2012 in a Camaro, so I've been with Camaro, Corvette, and now Cadillac. So it's always good to represent the GM brands here when you come to Detroit. And we definitely feel the added pressure, obviously, with all the GM folks here. And we here at Daytona and Detroit are our 2 biggest races of the year. So we know the pressure's on us, but that's the exciting part. So hopefully we'll have a strong weekend here with Cadillac.
And Felipe, come on over here, driving for Penske, and for Roger Penske right there, and driving Porsche. Explain to me, as we walk around, we heard Bud Denker talking about it, this track with the hypercars, when you guys get out there at these speeds, it's got to be fun, but really challenging, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Running those cars around, it gets pretty tight at some places, but we had an awesome race last year. It's great to be back. It's been an incredible beginning of season for us, winning the first 3 races of the season, and this is the car up the last race in Laguna. And when it comes here to see close racing, it's probably going to be hard to keep those Cadillacs, at bay, but I'm excited about it.
Thank you, Felipe Nasser, Tommy Milner, Jordan Taylor. IMSA here, going to be a wonderful weekend here in the Motor City. Back to you, Tom.
All right, we are over here with, it was funny, a little programming that Merrill popped over and was, hey, you're going to be talking to Will Power. He's right over there. He's like, I think I can find him. He's a legend, and he's easy to spot. Will, how are you? Welcome back to Detroit.
I'm doing well, thank you. After a pretty interesting month in May, but stoked to be here in Detroit. I think it's going to be a good weekend. Being a Chevy driver, it's a big deal for us. We haven't won a race this year.
With Chevrolet being here, obviously, it's the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix. It's very important, Team Penske here. What would it mean to you and the entire team to get a win here in Detroit?
Man, it'd be a big deal. It's Roger's hometown, Chevrolet's headquarters. It's been I would say it's been a good season for us. Let's say to second place. He's gone. It's not possible to catch him though. We could quite easily go on a run here and win 4 races in a row, and plus the Indy 500 and a few other things like that. But very determined. I think we all are. I just want to keep rolling, just do my best. That's all you can do. Put your head down and keep focusing and get the most out of the weekend.
What is it like mentally and physically for a driver of those last 10 laps?
It's tough, man. It's tough. Those were the 10 laps, the longer 10 laps that I've done in my entire life. It felt more like 10 seasons than 10 laps. But it was amazing. Once I crossed that start-finish line, just felt like everybody was trying to chase me, and I didn't want to give that position away. But just so awesome that we're able to get that win.
And then driving here, obviously in downtown Detroit, it was funny from the very first practice, everyone's going, well, they're only going to pass the 3, that's it. And you guys were passing each other left and right, driving through downtown Detroit, the nature of IndyCar drivers, and Will and every one of you, you're going to find a place to pass each other, and I know we're going to see that all weekend here on the track.
Yeah, we hope so, I mean, it's a fun track. It's very bumpy, we've seen, but honestly, we have really good cars at CGR here. Scott won here last year, in all the craziness we had. So excited to go out there. Hopefully we have an exciting race. Hopefully everybody gets to enjoy. I can't wait for the fans. That it's normally, like last year was amazing to go back here and see all the fans coming to the race weekend. So I'm excited.
Alex, congratulations on everything. Can't wait for this weekend. Alex, hello.